when we understand biodiversity, how to measure it? We Indians genetically we are different from the Europeans, इसीलिए हमारा रंग रूप डिफरेंट है, ठीक है। तो ये मैमल के ही डिफरेंट ऑर्गेनिजम्स हैं, जैसे कि डीप सी में देयर आर सो मेनी स्पीशीज जिनकी अभी हमें जानकारी ही नहीं है। व्हाट इज बायोडाइवर्सिटी? अर्लियर ऑल्सो वी हैव डिस्कस्ड in very simpler terms. It means the flora, fauna, the microorganisms which are there in the environment, together that will constitute your biodiversity, biological diversity. Break it down, it means it is biological diversity. So this term biodiversity, it was popularized by Edward Wilson. Edward Wilson has given this term biodiversity. When we understand biodiversity, how to measure it? There are largely three dimensions which we considered when we talk about measurement of biodiversity. The first one is, सबसे पहले आप यहाँ से समझिए, the species diversity. The species diversity. इसका सिंपल सा मतलब है दैट एक इन एनी पर्टिकुलर एरिया इन स्पेसिफिक टाइम हाउ मैनी स्पीशीज, हाउ मैनी डिफरेंट ऑर्गेनिजम्स आर देयर, कितने अलग अलग टाइप के ऑर्गेनिजम्स वहाँ पर हैं एक पर्टिकुलर एरिया में, दैट इज कॉल्ड योर स्पीशीज डाइवर्सिटी. फॉर एग्जाम्पल हियर दे से दैट वेस्टर्न घाट रीजन इज हैविंग वेरी हाई amphibian diversity if you compare it with the eastern ghats. Western Ghats, Eastern Ghats. Western Ghats की species diversity ज़्यादा है. Why? Because यहाँ पे mammals, यहाँ पे amphibian species, reptile species वो ज़्यादा है. Amphibian species का example जैसे कि frogs, salamanders, ठीक है. So ये होता है species diversity, the different types of the organisms which are existing in specific area. Now within any particular organism, within particular species also you will find there are differences because of genetic differences. अगर DNA या जीन में थोड़ा सा भी चेंज आता है तो वो सेम स्पीशीज़ अलग अलग एरियाज़ में रहने के बाद भी उनमें कुछ डिफरेंसेस होते हैं, दैट वी एक्सप्रेस इन टर्म्स ऑफ जेनेटिक डाइवर्सिटी. फॉर एग्जाम्पल ये समझिए, वी इंडियंस जेनेटिकली वी आर डिफरेंट फ्रॉम द यूरोपियंस, इसीलिए हमारा रंग रूप डिफरेंट है ना. इसी वे में फॉर एग्जांपल एलिफेंट इज देयर इन इंडिया ऑल्सो, एशियाटिक एलिफेंट, इट इज़ ऑल्सो देयर इन अफ्रीका, बट द बॉडी बिल्टअप ऑफ द अफ्रीकन एलिफेंट इज रिलेटिवली स्ट्रोंगर एंड बिगर एज कंपेयर टू द एशियाटिक एलिफेंट. वो क्यों है? क्योंकि जीन्स में डिफरेंसेस हैं. तो ये जीन्स के डिफरेंसेस दैट वी एक्सप्रेस इन टर्म्स ऑफ जेनेटिक डाइवर्सिटी, ठीक है. जैसे अलग अलग ब्रीड्स होती हैं आपकी डॉग्स की, दिस इज़ द मोस्ट रेलिवेंट एग्जाम्पल यू कैन थिंक ऑफ इन योर सराउंडिंग इटसेल्फ, ठीक है. तो ये DNA डिफरेंसेस की वजह से. देन वी हैव योर इकोलॉजिकल डाइवर्सिटी. इकोलॉजिकल डाइवर्सिटी सिंपली मीन्स हाउ मेनी डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ इकोसिस्टम्स कैन बी देयर विद इन द सेम रीजन. फॉर एग्जाम्पल इन इंडिया अलोन, इंडिया में हमारे पास माउंटेन्स भी हैं, वी आर हैविंग डेजर्ट्स ऑल्सो, प्लेन एरियाज ऑल्सो, रिवर्स ऑल्सो. सो ऑलमोस्ट ऑल द टाइप्स ऑफ इकोसिस्टम्स, डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ इकोसिस्टम्स आर देयर इन इंडिया. सो ये क्या है? डाइवर्सिटी है. दिस इज कॉल्ड योर इकोलॉजिकल डाइवर्सिटी. Understood? Ecological diversity is terms of the ecosystems. Species diversity in terms of the different types of the organisms which will be there. जैसे कि mammals की species, mammals की species के example दीजिए मुझे आप. Can you give me any 2 examples or 3 examples of the species of mammals? Humans are also mammals. Apes are also, हाँ ठीक है. What about the lion, tiger? ये भी mammals हैं. What about the blue whale? That is also a mammal. ठीक है. तो ये mammal के ही different organisms हैं. तो ये क्या है, स्पीशीज डाइवर्सिटी है, ठीक है. एंड देन वी हैव जेनेटिक डाइवर्सिटी, दैट विद इन द सेम एनिमल देयर विल बी डिफरेंसेस इन देयर मॉर्फोलॉजिकल, इन देयर फिजिक, विच इज़ बिकॉज ऑफ द जेनेटिक डिफरेंसेस. तो वो आ गया आपका जेनेटिक डाइवर्सिटी, ठीक है. Now talking about how many species are there on the earth and how many species are there in India. This is a bit explained here. If you see that, in fact कहते हैं कि so far we are able to explore only roughly 22% of the total animal and plant species. The remaining is yet to be discovered, ठीक है. जैसे कि डीप सी में देयर आर सो मैनी स्पीशीज़ जिनकी अभी हमें जानकारी ही नहीं है, इसीलिए बोला जाता है डीप सी माइनिंग नहीं करनी चाहिए अभी, जब हम अंडरस्टैंड ही नहीं कर रहे इकोसिस्टम को. सो इफ़ वी आर गोइंग टू adversely affect the aquatic environment, we might be losing some important species before even we know them, ठीक है. In India, if you see, India की diversity important है, that India is having about 8% of the global species diversity. पूरे वर्ल्ड का कितना है, 8%, 8.1% of the total diversity of animals and plants and insects, ठीक है. As a whole, if you see, on the earth more than 70% are the animals. 70% biodiversity में क्या है आपके, animals हैं. About 22% are your plants, ठीक है. And in the animals also the highest diversity is of that of insects. सबसे ज़्यादा क्या है आपके, insects हैं, ठीक है. And in the plants you will be surprised to know that fungi is having the highest diversity. The fungi species, their diversity is even more than if you take the combination of the species of fish, amphibian, reptiles and mammals. Almost every kind of animal, if you together put it on one side and you compare it with the total fungi species, fungi के species बहुत ही ज़्यादा exceeding, they'll be exceedingly high, ठीक है. What are the examples of some of the fungi species? ये जितने भी tables आपको दिए होते हैं, इनका comparative analysis is important for your prelims, ठीक है. इसका एनालिसिस आपको ध्यान से देखना है, जैसे हमने वाटर का देखा था उसी वे में आप इसको एनालाइज कीजिए. इन द इन्वर्टिब्रेट्स द मैक्सिमम स्पीशीज विल बी देयर इन द इंसेक्ट्स, मॉलस्क, क्रस्टेशियंस और अदर एनिमल ग्रुप्स. ट्राई टू रिमेंबर इट अ बिट. फिश की डाइवर्सिटी वर्टिब्रेट्स में सबसे, इफ़ यू सी, अबाउट 50% आर द फिश and very less we have the mammals, birds, reptiles and amphibians as compared to fish, ठीक है. Some of the examples of fungi, मशरूम पे क्वेश्चन भी आया था, ठीक है. एक मैंने आपको बस अपडेट के लिए लिख दिया है, यू कैन गो थ्रू दिस व्हेन यू स्टडी योर करंट अफेयर्स अबाउट द मैजिक मशरूम्स, ठीक है. एक बारी पहले क्वेश्चन आ चुका है. Some of the mushroom have therapeutic properties. They have they are having the psychological effect in treating the mental disorders. ऐसे करके भी था, ठीक है. So there were 4 statements based upon the properties of fungi, the properties of mushroom. Fungi we have studied in the previous chapter. They are important decomposers. Fungi are important decomposers. For example, in the forest ecosystem, the important decomposer is your fungi only. ये लिख लीजिए, fungi is important decomposer in the forest ecosystem, ठीक है. So India is said to be one of the 17 mega diverse countries. the concept of mega diverse. Mega diversity that is taken into account by using the methodology by United Nation Environment Program's World Conservation Monitoring Center. The World Conservation Monitoring Center, which is part of the United Nations Environment Program, that identifies that which countries are fit to be categorized as the mega diverse countries depending upon the different kinds of the ecosystems which are there, how many number of the different species are there, how much genetic diversity is there in that country. Like we have talked recently that India में in the Western Ghats, in the region of the Himalayas, you can see that there is rich species diversity. ठीक है, तो ये फैक्ट अपडेट कर लेना, यहाँ पे 12 लिखा था, नाउ देयर आर 17 टोटल मेगा डाइवर्स कंट्रीज, इंडिया इज़ वन ऑफ देम. एंड कौन इनको आइडेंटिफाई करता है? द आइडेंटिफाइंग बॉडी इज़ द वर्ल्ड कंजर्वेशन मॉनिटरिंग सेंटर. The next thing that we have to study is regarding the distribution of the biodiversity. Earlier also we have discussed many times. First, effect of the latitude, because latitude is directly deciding how much sunlight is reaching, how much availability of the sunlight is there for the animals and plants. यानी कि कितना temperature है that can support the vegetation and wildlife metabolism. ठीक है. So as you go from the equator towards the poles, diversity will increase or decrease. Colder regions are going to have more species or hotter? Colder. टुंड्रा, कोल्डर में आप कंसीडर कीजिए द केस ऑफ टुंड्रा. आर्कटिक में देयर विल बी सम एनिमल्स बट दे आर गोइंग टू बी इन बिगर इन साइज, बट if you compare the number of species they will be less as compared to a forest which is there within the tropicals, within the tropical region. Amazon rainforest. Amazon rainforest is having the highest biodiversity in the world. ठीक है, and because of the rainforest there, it is contributing to about 20% of the total oxygen on the whole earth. पूरे अर्थ पे टोटल ऑक्सीजन का 20% अलोन Amazon rainforest contribute कर रहा है. That is why it is called lungs of the planet Earth. ये UPSC ने पूछा है, the lungs of the planet Earth Amazon, and that was compared with the mangroves as the kidneys of the ecosystem. तो इसका significance क्या है? ठीक है. So latitudinally, remember the species diversity will decrease from equator towards the poles. About Amazon rainforest also we have talked. Now what are the factors because of which we say that tropical region is going to have more species diversity compared to the temperate regions? There are 4 primary factors which are responsible. First, we say that it is because of the time factor. Means कितने टाइम के लिए if any particular region was left undisturbed. If you see the temperate regions, वहाँ पे कभी जब glaciers बनने start हुए थे, when the glaciation process began, the life which might be there that got disturbed, so that went extinct, and again new life had to come up there. It was disturbed as compared to the tropical region. Tropical region में no such glaciation activity was taking place. It was relatively less disturbed. So that gave more time to the species that they can evolve. ठीक है. So time is one of the factors. Second factor is regarding the seasonal contrast. If you see in the tropical regions, largely there is wet season or the dry season. ठीक है. The spring and autumn ज़्यादा लंबी ड्यूरेशन के लिए नहीं होता ना हमारे यहाँ पे. It is roughly for days, and then there is transition to the hotter season or the colder season. So largely we say that in the tropics the seasonal contrast is less. Because of that also species are able to adapt easily. Now if you compare it with the temperate regions, there almost 4 types of seasons are there for a bit longer duration. Now species has to go from one season to another and withstand those changes and accordingly evolve. The simpler species, they will not be able to withstand such seasonal contrast at the faster pace. ठीक है, this is the reason that second factor contributing to more species richness in the tropical regions. The third factor is regarding the how much insolation, how much temperature is there. More solar energy is available in the tropics because here the sun rays are falling directly as compared to the slant oblique sun rays which are striking the temperate latitudes. ठीक है, so more solar energy means more photosynthesis. More photosynthesis means it can support the, it can have the more food availability for the herbivores and therefore support the further carnivore population also. Able to establish the link. And the fourth factor which is not written here, that is your rainfall. Please mention about the rainfall also, that is also important factor. In the tropical regions, the climate is largely hot and wet because there is sufficient rainfall that is able to develop good vegetation there, forest. But in the colder regions, rainfall is less, so the height of the trees, of the plants, they will be stunted. If that is left, if more grasslands are there, their productivity is also be going to be less, and as such the ecosystem will have less species diversity. Clear है? ये 4 factors हैं. Examine the role of these factors in contributing to the species richness or species diversity. ठीक है? Next, here you are given one graphical presentation. ये mathematical इसका आपको नहीं याद करना है. We only need to know what is the essence of this. There was this geographer Alexander von Humboldt, a German geographer, the Alexander von Humboldt. He studied the impact of the size of the area on the species diversity, and it is his conclusion that the species diversity is always going to be more if the area of the land is more. अगर area ज़्यादा है, if the size of region, the geographical region is more, it is naturally bound to have more species diversity. That is one of the propositions of Alexander von Humboldt's species area relationship study. तो ये मैंने आपको समराइज करके यहाँ पे लिख के दिया है. ठीक है, go through this. Mathematically आपको नहीं समझना है, you can leave that. Next is that what is the importance of the species diversity. जितना ज़्यादा species diversity होगा उतना ही stable ecosystem होता है. ठीक है, simply understand, more the species diversity, more stable is going to be the ecosystem. ठीक है, because it is able to support more food webs. ठीक है, and the biomass production will also be relatively more. One important concept here is the Rivet-Popper hypothesis. Now to make us understand what is the importance of species diversity. Species क्या है? They are the abiotic or biotic component of ecosystem. Biotic component of the ecosystem. So there was one scientist, an ecologist named Paul Ehrlich. Paul Ehrlich. ठीक है, he was an American. तो he has tried to compare the ecosystem with the functioning of aeroplane. पहले आप समझ लीजिए क्या है. Suppose there is an aeroplane and it is its functionalities because of the different components in it. Those components when they are combined together, they are able to ensure that the airplane is functional. In similar way he says that we have the ecosystem. He is comparing it with the airplane. ठीक है, ecosystem is also having different components, the biotic and abiotic components. यहाँ पे ये rivet जो कि parts of aeroplane बोल रहा है, he is comparing it with the parts of ecosystem, the species. कि species के साथ आपको कंपेयर करना है. He says that if you start removing the species one by one, the parts of the ecosystem one by one from the atmosphere, in the short run you will not see how much impact it is leaving on the ecosystem, but in the long run you will see that your whole system, its functionality will be disrupted. ठीक है, so he said, further he says that now which species you are removing from the ecosystem, which part of the ecosystem you are affecting more, that is going to further decide how much damage you have done to the ecosystem. तो यहाँ पे वो compare कर रहा है role of the keystone species in the ecosystem. He is trying to bring out what is the role of keystone species. Keystone species क्या होते हैं? Those species in the ecosystem, although they might not be in so much number, but they are essential for the whole functioning of ecosystem. For example, elephants in the forest ecosystem, in the grassland ecosystem. ठीक है, then you have, here I have mentioned one example, the sea otters in the kelp forest. kelp forest क्या होता है आपका? अंडरग्राउंड ओशन में आपके फॉरेस्ट डेवलप होते हैं इन द डीपर पार्ट्स, सो दोज आर द kelp forest. वहाँ पे एक इम्पॉर्टेंट स्पीशीज़ है सी ऑटर. ठीक है, आज देखना सी ऑटर कैसा दिखता है. इट इज़ इंटरेस्टिंग एनिमल. इनफैक्ट इसके बारे में आजकल बहुत ज़्यादा न्यूज़ अपडेट भी आ रहे हैं. ठीक है, वाई इज़ दैट स्पीशीज़ इम्पॉर्टेंट? नाउ सी, देर इज़ अनदर ऑर्गेनिज्म इन द इकोसिस्टम कॉल्ड सी अर्चिन्स. Sea urchins, which are the food for the sea otters. Sea urchins, they are the food for your sea otter. ठीक है, these sea urchins, if there is no sea otter in this ecosystem, what will happen? Predator is removed from the ecosystem. This is important predator. If it is removed from the kelp forest, the population of sea urchins is going to dramatically rise, and this is such a species that it will eat up all the kelp forest, and as a result that whole ecosystem will be lost. तो क्या हुआ है, एक species important था जो इस पूरे इकोसिस्टम के फंक्शनिंग के लिए, जब हमने उसी को रिमूव कर दिया पूरा इकोसिस्टम ही ख़त्म हो गया. समझ आया? सो दीज स्पीशीज विच आर functionally they are very important for the ecosystem, and their removal is going to disrupt whole ecosystem. They are called keystone species. ठीक है, इसीलिए ये टाइगर कंजर्वेशन की बात चलती है. प्रोजेक्ट टाइगर, वाई इज़ इट इम्पॉर्टेंट? बिकॉज टाइगर इज़ कीस्टोन स्पीशीज़ इन द फॉरेस्ट इकोसिस्टम. टाइगर नहीं होगा तो डियर की पॉपुलेशन बढ़ जाएगी. डियर की पॉपुलेशन बढ़ेगी तो क्या होगा? द ग्रासेस, द फॉरेस्ट इकोसिस्टम विल ऑल्सो बी हार्म्ड. तो इकोसिस्टम ही ख़त्म हो जाएगा. ठीक है, सो बैलेंस इन द एटमॉस्फेयर इज मेंटेन्ड थ्रू द रोल ऑफ स्पीशीज़ लाइक द कीस्टोन स्पीशीज़. ठीक है, next we are going to study about the loss of the biodiversity. Let us first go through the reasons which are responsible for the faster pace at which we are destroying the biodiversity. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे कुछ terms हैं जैसे कि sixth mass extinction. The term sixth mass extinction, this was asked by UPSC in the definition and prelims. मास एक्सटिंक्शन में क्या होता है? इन द मास एक्सटिंक्शंस दे कैन बी बिकॉज ऑफ द नेचुरल फैक्टर्स और मैन मेड फैक्टर्स, बट when about more than 60% of the species of plants and animals are destroyed in single event, that is called your mass extinction. And currently we are experiencing sixth mass extinction, जहाँ पे about 70% of the species which we have lost because of the human made activities. ठीक है. So now we will analyze that what are these activities. So largely we are going to categorize them into 4, which we term as the evil quartet. 4 primary factors, the 4 most important threats. These are the threats to the biodiversity which we call the evil quartet. कौन सी है ये? सबसे पहले है हमारा the loss of the habitat and its fragmentation. The habitat fragmentation and its loss. Second is your over exploitation. Second is over exploitation of the biodiversity. Third, invasive species. And the fourth is the co-extinctions. These together they will form your evil quartet. Together these are the 4 factors responsible for biodiversity loss. Now we will study about them a bit in detail. First is regarding the habitat loss and fragmentation. Suppose there is a forest, ठीक है, 2 forest मान लेते हैं. There are 2 forests. These 2 forests, they are in the close vicinity and there is one corridor, one pathway that is connecting these 2 forests. ठीक है, ये पूरा अपने आप में एक ecosystem है. ठीक है. Now because of the human activities, when we are constructing the roads, when we are constructing the railways, or we are trying to connect the rivers, river interlinking projects, the dam creation, what we are doing, we are going to damage, we are going to make our way through these forests. So it will lead to either fragmentation of this habitat or the wildlife corridor which is there, that will no longer be there. तो वो 2 forest जो connected थे अब वो separate हो जाएंगे. Now there are so many species, the animals they do not know the boundaries of which we humans have created, political boundaries. Animals move freely, they need more range to wander and find their food. तो उनका natural habitat where they live, because of the infrastructure creation we are destroying their habitat. तो क्या होता है, these species they are losing their habitat and they are becoming more vulnerable to poaching or hunting by the humans, or they come more in contact with the humans. ठीक है, खाना ढूंढते ढूंढते जब उनका फॉरेस्ट खत्म हो गया, they will wander into nearby villages. So when they come there, what will happen? Further they are encountering the humans, there is negative interaction, either they are killing humans or humans are killing them. The human wildlife conflict takes place. ठीक है, तो समझ आया habitat loss and fragmentation. ठीक है. Second we will analyze about the over exploitation. किसी भी चीज़ की लिमिट होती है यूज़ करने की. ठीक है, जैसे कि फॉर एग्जाम्पल मेडिसिनल प्लांट्स हैं. इज इट वाइज टू वाइप आउट होल फॉरेस्ट फॉर आवर ओन ह्यूमन ग्रीड? इट्स नॉट वाइज, है ना. तो ओवर एक्सप्लॉयटेशन ऑफ द बायोलॉजिकल रिसोर्सेज और द जेनेटिकल रिसोर्सेज, दैट इज ऑल्सो वन ऑफ द मेजर कॉजेज फॉर बायोडाइवर्सिटी लॉस. फॉर एग्जाम्पल ओवर फिशिंग. So here you have to give example of overfishing. For example, the timber harvesting. Forest में timber is also there. Now timber is very useful for your furniture making and other construction activities. तो ये चोरी होती है ना, स्मगलिंग. कितनी मूवीज़ बनती है, साउथ की भी मूवीज़ देखते होंगे, वो स्मगलिंग करते हैं फॉरेस्ट से टिम्बर की. रेड सैंडलवुड. ठीक है, तो now that is example of your over exploitation of the natural resource which is there in the biodiverse regions. ठीक है, so that is also leading to biodiversity loss. फिर उसके बाद आपका है invasive species. We have discussed this earlier also. From the outside environment, when you are introducing any non-native species, either deliberately or unintentionally. Unintentionally कैसे हो सकता है? For example, nowadays we are carrying out so much trade with the other countries. ठीक है, so our ships are moving between the ocean waterways, ठीक है, when they are moving they bring with themselves some of the unwanted species along with them, ballast water में, ballast water in the ships that often brings with it the invasive species. तो वो unintentionally एक दूसरे foreign land में आके when they will reach there, because they are not having any natural predator, so their population is going to increase, but that is going to harm the native species. ठीक है, कल हमने पढ़ा था अबाउट द एलिलोपैथी. यूकेलिप्टिस एक ऐसा प्लांट है, इन इंडिया इट वाज इंट्रोड्यूस्ड अर्लियर फॉर द प्लांटेशन, बट नाउअडेज देयर इज कंसर्न दैट वी नीड टू weed it out because it is sucking so much water, it is competing for the resources with the native population. तो जो हमारे native indigenous trees हैं and plants हैं, they are lost at the cost of some exotic species which was brought into the geographical region. So that is your invasive species. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे कुछ examples हैं, please pay attention to these examples like the carrot grass, parthenium, lantana camara. ये हमारा वेस्टर्न घाट्स को काफ़ी ज़्यादा इम्पैक्ट करता है. द लेंटाना कमारा प्लस प्रोसोपिस जूलीफेरा, ये यूपीएससी ने पूछा हुआ है इनके बारे में. ठीक है, देन वी हैव वाटर हियासिंथ, द अदर नेम फॉर इट इज इकॉर्निया, अफ्रीकन कैटफिश. सो दीज आर सम ऑफ द एग्जाम्पल्स. Now when you are going through the daily newspapers, it will be easier for you now to understand the concept of invasive species. आपका काम क्या है, जो भी नया नाम अगर आपको कोई नया मिलता है which is particularly affecting Indian ecosystem, that you have to note down. ठीक है, तो एक बहुत important है, मैं अभी नहीं बता रही आपको, I'll ask you in the class tomorrow. एक एग्जाम्पल आप बताएंगे, इट इज़ अफेक्टिंग वेस्टर्न घाट्स ओनली अपार्ट फ्रॉम द लेंटाना कमारा एंड प्रोसोपिस जूलीफेरा. ठीक है, दैट इज़ ऑल्सो रिलीजिंग सम टॉक्सिक कंपाउंड्स इन द एनवायरनमेंट जहाँ पे उसका इंट्रोडक्शन होता है, एंड एज अ रिजल्ट नियर बाय ऑल द वेजिटेशन इज डिस्ट्रॉयड. पढ़ के बताना मुझे उसका नाम. द लास्ट इज को एक्सटिंक्शन. को एक्सटिंक्शन का मतलब है there are, for example, there are two species which are highly dependent on each other for their survival. कल हमने एग्जाम्पल पढ़ा था फिग और वास्प स्पीशीज़ का. Now fig needs wasp, wasp will need fig, and they are highly dependent on each other. If one of the species in this interaction, in the mutualism, it goes extinct, the other species, because its dependent is no more there, that will also go extinct. दैट इज़ कॉल्ड को एक्सटिंक्शन. ठीक है, तो ये चार मेजर थ्रेट्स हैं आपकी टू द बायोडाइवर्सिटी. ठीक है, सो द क्वेश्चन इज दैट हाउ शुड वी कंजर्व द बायोडाइवर्सिटी. देन कंजर्व कैसे करें? लार्जली कंजर्वेशन इज टॉक्ड अबाउट इन द कॉन्टेक्स्ट ऑफ two types of the measures which we can take, the in situ conservation or the ex situ. नाम से समझते हैं, in situ, in the place itself, in its natural habitat itself. अगर कोई भी species endangered है, to protect it we need to protect its whole natural habitat. टाइगर को कंजर्व करने के लिए फॉरेस्ट को ही कंजर्व करना पड़ेगा, इसीलिए we demarcate the tiger reserves. ठीक है, so that is the strategy, that conservation of the natural habitat itself for the conservation of any endangered species, that is called your in situ conservation of biodiversity. On the other hand, there is some species which is highly endangered. Now it is not possible that you can ensure its conservation in its natural habitat. तो करना क्या पड़ेगा, मान लो एक दो स्पीशीज़ ही बचे हैं, you need to conserve their DNA, उनका गैमीट कंजर्वेशन, क्रायो प्रिजर्वेशन लैब्स में उनके सीमेन को, उनके जीन्स को प्रिजर्व किया जाता है, एंड फ्रॉम दैट दे एंश्योर दैट फर्दर बायोडाइवर्सिटी कैन बी कंजर्व. तो वो स्टेप्स आउटसाइड ऑफ द हैबिटेट विच वी आर टेकिंग, दैट इज़ योर एक्स सिटू कंजर्वेशन. ठीक है, सो we'll see what are the more examples of your in situ and ex situ. in situ conservation में आपके national parks, the national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, ठीक है, the biodiversity hotspots को preserve करना, the preservation of biodiversity hotspots, we will see the concept about this. The biosphere reserves, community reserves, now all the steps which we are taking under the Wildlife Protection Act of 1972, the creation of national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, biosphere reserves, community reserves, and then tiger reserves, elephant reserves within their natural habitat itself, ये सब examples हैं आपके in situ conservation के, ठीक है. Now here itself there is the concept of biodiversity hotspot. काफ़ी बार पूछा है and it can be asked again also, what are the biodiversity hotspots? Biodiversity hotspots को समझने के लिए you simply understand that these are those geographical regions where the endemic species of the plants, they are extremely high. The endemic species of the vascular plants, they are high, and secondly these areas have faced so much threat because of the human induced or natural factors, ठीक है. Biodiversity hotspots, they have very high levels of the species richness and degree of endemism. However, they are also facing the problem of accelerated habitat loss. About 30% of their habitat is, it's lost or remaining? 30% habitat is remaining. And who is the nodal agency to demarcate the biodiversity hotspots in the world? That is the Conservation International. The Conservation International. At present we have 36 biodiversity hotspots. There are 36 biodiversity hotspots at present in the whole world, and they are spanning across mostly in the tropical regions, but some of these regions are also there beyond the tropics in the temperate lands, ठीक है. So these are all these biodiversity hotspots. Please go through this once, the map, try to see कि कौन से areas हैं जहाँ पे biodiversity richness, the endemic species are more. Secondly, the habitat loss is significantly high here. They are highly threatened areas, ठीक है. In India we have 3 biodiversity hotspots. What are these hotspots? The Himalayan region, the Himalayas, the Indo-Burma region, Indo-Burma में northeastern states, ठीक है. And the third is Western Ghats. Western Ghats, the Indo-Burma region and the Himalayas, 3 हैं, ठीक है. So remember this also. These are the facts, they are given in the book itself also. Western Ghats and the Sri Lanka region, then the Indo-Burma and the Himalaya. तो अगर आप हिमालय और इंडो बर्मा को देखें, both your western Himalayas and your eastern Himalayas, they are containing high number of the endemic species of the plants and they are facing habitat loss at unprecedented levels, ठीक है. So we need to ensure that there itself, if we ensure conservation of biodiversity through in situ measures, these biodiversity hotspots can be protected, ठीक है. Then we have sacred groves. Sacred groves are also naturally occurring tracts of the forest which are preserved by the tribal community. That is also a step taken under in situ conservation of biodiversity. Last is your ex situ. In the ex situ, what are the steps that are taken? The creation of the zoos, the zoological parks, the botanical gardens, wildlife safari parks. Then through the cryopreservation technique, we are trying to create the gene banks or the seed banks. Can you tell me one example of each which is taken by India? Government of India has created a gene bank, seed bank also where? हाँ, the seed bank, it is considered, India की seed bank, it is considered to be world's second largest seed bank and it is located in Ladakh region of India. And the gene bank में you have this lab called LACONS. The LACONS lab in Hyderabad, which is operated by CSIR. This is the example of your gene bank in India. ठीक है? So these are the examples of ex situ conservation measures. Thereafter, they have mentioned about two of the important steps which were taken at the global level to ensure the preservation, conservation of biodiversity. The first we have studied the Earth Summit. Geography की classes में भी हमने cover किया था. The Rio Conference. When it occurred in 1992, it was organized in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. The United Nations Convention on Environment. ठीक है? So this convention took place. It is called the Earth Summit, and the outcomes, one of the important outcomes was the creation of United Nations Convention on Biological Diversity. एक nodal, it is the global level body which brings together the governments of the world to deliberate upon the threats which conservation, which biodiversity is facing and the steps which are needed for conservation of biodiversity. So almost every year they have these meetings and they discuss the issues and try to find out the solutions at global level. ठीक है? Thereafter, after 10 years of this Earth Summit, there was another summit organized by United Nations called the World Summit on Sustainable Development. World Summit on Sustainable Development, which was held in Johannesburg in South Africa. There also countries have reaffirmed their commitment to conserve the biodiversity. तो आगे हम फाउंडेशन में we are going to study about some important steps like Nagoya Protocol क्या है, then we will also study about the Cartagena Protocol, ठीक है, and the most recent step the Kunming Montreal Protocol, the post 2020 conservation of the biodiversity that was talked about here. ठीक है, these steps we will study further later. ठीक है. So these were some of the key concepts which we have studied in these chapters. I have provided you all the questions also, PYQs also, plus there are some additional questions for day 2 and day 1 assignment. Nobody has submitted me so far day 1 assignment. किया नहीं है कल? आज करो अभी बैठ के चलो. So our discussion of these two important chapters is done for the day. Tomorrow we have to cover one more important chapter, environmental issues. The issue of the issues which are concerning the health of the environment in general, we will talk about that. ठीक है? It's not given in the new NCERTs of the biology, rather you have to study the 2002 edition of the book. Okay. कुछ recent updates I have provided you in these highlighted versions of the chapters. You can download and study them. ठीक है. Now your task is to have the reading of all these chapters which we have covered so far. कोई भी doubt है तो आप please आके पूछिए. ठीक है. Let us complete the assignment 1 and assignment 2. आज का मेंस का क्वेश्चन आपका है, द क्वेश्चन फॉर मेंस प्रैक्टिस इज डिस्कस द कंसेप्ट ऑफ बायोडाइवर्सिटी हॉटस्पॉट्स एंड प्रेजेंट अ ब्रीफ नोट ऑन द टाइप ऑफ बायोडाइवर्सिटी फाउंड इन दीज बायोडाइवर्सिटी हॉटस्पॉट्स ऑफ इंडिया. ठीक है, तो इसका फॉर्मेट क्या होगा वो मैं बस आपको रफली बता रही हूँ. व्हाट विल बी द फॉर्मेट ऑफ योर आंसर? First of all, you have to write your introduction. In the introduction, you are going to define. You have to define the biodiversity hotspots and how many hotspots are there in the world. ठीक है? Then you come to the body. Now, when you are coming to the body, you have to mention about the biodiversity hotspots of India. Write about these, how many are there, which are these, and then make a table. You have to make a table. On the left hand side you write the biodiversity hotspot in India, the name, and alongside correspondingly you have to write type of biodiversity found there. So here you have to give these examples of some important plants and animals which can be found only in these particular habitats. ऐसे examples आपको यहाँ पे लिखने हैं. At least 4 examples each. कितना? For each of these hotspots 4 examples each. And then we will write the conclusion. In the conclusion you have to mention that because of the human led unsustainable development activities like the infrastructure creation, illegal mining, widespread deforestation, rapid urbanization, unregulated tourism, etc., these biodiversity hotspots are facing further endangerment, and hence it is the need of the hour to ensure conservation of these biodiversity hotspots to keep the genetic biodiversity of India intact. ठीक है, इस वे में कि क्या अभी क्या कंडीशन है और what needs to be done. That should be your orientation for writing the conclusion. ठीक है, this will help you both in prelims and mains. Try to jot down 4 examples each and complete this answer and submit it to me. You have my mail. Should I repeat? याद है ना आपको? Those who are online, if you need the updation of my mail, you have to send your answers to me on mail. After completing this, both answers, the yesterday's mains answer also, that was about the abiotic factors which affect the distribution of life on earth. यही question था ना? तो उसमें you have to talk about the temperature, soil, light and water जो आपके chapter में given है, along with some examples. At least 2 to 3 lines about each of the factors you have to cover in the body of that answer. ठीक है, तो आप लिखने के बाद मुझे सबमिट कीजिए. Then we'll talk about further improvement. And tomorrow we'll complete the last chapter from the NCERT, which is your environmental issues. ठीक है, some of the issues we will only have a brief about them, but some we are going to discuss in detail. ठीक है. So after that our portion of NCERT syllabus from the environment section that will be complete. ठीक है. तो ये 10 क्वेश्चन आप जल्दी से कर लो, अभी सिंपल क्वेश्चंस हैं. Start by solving yesterday's questions and then come to today's questions. Can you give me yesterday's paper? Thank you. Within 5 minutes you can 7 minutes you can complete first paper, and then we will have discussion about the answers. Try to write down a particular definition of biodiversity hotspot which was given by Conservation International. क्या criteria है? The first is that particular geographical region should have at least 1500 vascular endemic plants. Second, it should have lost at least 70% of its original biodiversity. It means only 30% is remaining, and we have already degraded a large chunk of the biodiversity there. ठीक है. Question number 1. Which one of the following is best description of the term ecosystem? क्या आंसर है इसका? What is the answer? C. Community of organisms together with the environment in which they live. ठीक है. बाकी 3 स्टेटमेंट्स इनकम्प्लीट हैं. First statement is community of organisms interacting with each other, but it's not mentioned that they are also interacting with the abiotic components. Then that part of earth which is inhabited by living organisms, उसको क्या बोलते हैं? Habitat होता है वो तो. ठीक है. Then the last option, flora and fauna of geographical area, उसको क्या बोलते हैं? That is biodiversity. So answer was C. Second question, the organism cattle egret is, what is it? It is a bird. इस बार भी ऐसा एक पिछली बार इस बार ही क्वेश्चन आया था ना, सिकाडा, द ऑर्गेनिज्म सिकाडा एंड 2 more names were given that they are, वो क्या हैं, ऐसा ही सिमिलर क्वेश्चन था. So those were insects. तो कई बार सिंपल क्वेश्चंस होते हैं. Consider the following factors: amount of radiant solar energy, number of photosynthetic plants, nutrients within the soil or habitat. How many of the above factors play important role in affecting primary productivity of an ecosystem? तीनों ही है, because all 3 they affect the rate of photosynthesis by the plants. Fourth, which of the following is incorrect regarding detritivores and decomposers? इसका आंसर क्या है? इसका आंसर बी है. एक्चुअली डीकम्पोजर और डेट्रिटिवोर्स की डेफिनेशन मैंने इंटरचेंज की थी इसमें. आई टोल्ड यू दैट डीकम्पोजर्स दे विल यूज देयर एंजाइम्स टू ब्रेक डाउन द ऑर्गेनिक मैटर, एंड रेदर डेट्रिटिवोर्स दे कंज्यूम द ऑर्गेनिक मैटर एंड फर्दर कॉज इट्स फ्रेगमेंटेशन. ठीक है, ये प्राइमरी डिफरेंस है. एंड देन अदर स्टेटमेंट्स दोज आर करेक्ट. Earthworms and millipedes are examples of detritivores. Mushroom and flagellates are example of decomposers. That is correct. With reference to concept of productivity of ecosystems, consider the following statements. Gross primary productivity measures the rate of production of organic matter during photosynthesis. ठीक है वो? ठीक है. Secondary productivity means how efficiently consumers convert energy they get from food into their own growth and development. That is also correct? ठीक है. Sixth one. How many of the above mentioned are examples of decomposers in the pond? हमें दिया हुआ है foraminifera, flagellates and bacteria. What is the answer here? ये आपका NCERT में given है. टू एंड थ्री ओनली. 6 का आंसर होगा 2 and 3 only. The foraminifera, that is a phytoplankton. Okay, next 7th one. Eurythermal organisms can tolerate only narrow range of temperature. सही है या गलत है? यूरीथर्मल. यूरी का मतलब होता है वाइड रेंज ऑफ टॉलरेंस. सो दिस इज इनकरेक्ट. नैरो रेंज ऑफ टेम्परेचर उन एनिमल्स को क्या बोलते हैं? स्टीनोथर्मल. ठीक है. थर्मोफिल्स आर अडेप्टेड टू सर्वाइव इन हॉट गीजर्स एंड हाइड्रोथर्मल वेंट्स. दैट इज करेक्ट और रॉन्ग? Thermophiles. Yes, that is correct. The 8th one, on one hand you have the name of species and on the other hand you are having वो कहाँ पे मिलता है. कंगारू ऑस्ट्रेलिया, ठीक है. कंगारू रैट नॉर्थ अमेरिका. सही है या गलत है? कंगारू रैट, कंगारू रैट इज फाउंड इन नॉर्थ अमेरिका, इसीलिए दिया था ये. रैट कंगारू एक अलग स्पीशीज है जो ऑस्ट्रेलिया में मिलेगा. डोंट गेट कंफ्यूज्ड. ठीक है, ये इसीलिए दिया था. देन थर्ड, कियांग. कियांग इज तिब्बतन वाइल्ड एस. इट इज नॉट फाउंड इन ब्राज़ील, इट इज फाउंड इन लद्दाख. इट इज फाउंड इन लद्दाख एंड तिब्बत रीजन ऑफ चाइना. ठीक है. So how many pairs are correct? 2 are correct here, first and second. 9th question, which of the following is not an adaptation of plants in desertic ecosystem? Long roots, absence of leaves, presence of more stomata, thick stems. कौन सा आंसर होगा इसका? Presence of more stomata, that is incorrect. क्योंकि अगर stomata ज़्यादा होगा तो loss of water तो ज़्यादा हो जाएगा ना लीव से. So that is inversely incorrect. It is incorrect statement here. ठीक है. Okay, last, if you want to find Mithun, he or she is advised to visit which of the following states of India? अरुणाचल प्रदेश. ठीक है. ये आपका ज्योग्राफी की NCERT में फॉरेस्ट एंड वाइल्ड लाइफ चैप्टर में भी मैंने आपको बताया था. ठीक है. Let's come to test of day 2. In which one of the following biogeochemical cycles weathering of rocks is main source of the release of nutrient to enter the cycle? Phosphorus cycle. ठीक है. Consider the following statements. The standing crop measures total weight of the crops raised in one agricultural season. सही है या गलत है? It has nothing to do with the crops. ठीक है. Standing crop, it is the measure of the total weight of the biomass, the organic matter in the ecosystem. ठीक है. Measurement of standing crop is more accurate if its wet weight is taken into account. This is incorrect. In fact, dry weight should be the criteria for measuring the standing crop. क्योंकि wet weight में क्या होता है, moisture की value से उसकी वैल्यू कभी ऊपर जाएगी कभी कम जाएगी वेट. सो दैट इज नॉट द स्टैटिक मेजर. ठीक है. थर्ड, एल्गे, फाइटोप्लैंक्टन, कोपॉड्स, विच ऑफ द अबव मेंशन्ड ऑर्गेनिजम्स आर जनरली प्राइमरी प्रोड्यूसर्स इन इकोसिस्टम? कौन से हैं? प्राइमरी प्रोड्यूसर मीन्स दे आर ऑटोट्रॉफ्स. बताइए इसमें आंसर मेरे को। कोपॉड्स क्या होते हैं? कोपॉड्स आर फाइटोप्लैंक्टन और जूप्लैंक्टन। कोपॉड्स आर जूप्लैंक्टन। तो ये तो खाना बनाने से रहे। थर्ड तो आपका इनकरेक्ट हो गया। डू यू रिमेंबर येस्टरडे वी स्टडीड अबाउट म्यूचुअलिज्म? उसमें कुछ एग्जाम्पल्स थे। लाइकन इज द म्यूचुअल एसोसिएशन बिटवीन फंगस एंड एल्गे। एल्गे क्या करता है? खाना बनाता है। तो प्राइमरी प्रोड्यूसर होता है वो भी, ठीक है। सो एल्गे एंड फाइटोप्लैंक्टन, 1 and 2 ऑप्शंस आर करेक्ट, थर्ड इज इनकरेक्ट। फोर्थ वन, vulture, crow, komodo dragon, eagle. How many of the above mentioned organisms are widely known for their role as scavengers in our environment? Means such birds or animals, they are feeding upon the already dead plants and animals, the dead animals. कौन से होते हैं? vulture तो है, crow भी है, eagle भी है और komodo dragon भी है, ठीक है, चारों के चारों हैं. With reference to ecological succession, first statement, it can be a sudden or gradual process. It is a gradual process जो बहुत ही साल लगते हैं इसमें. It can never be a sudden process. It will begin with the invasion by the lichens and mosses as cereal species. As cereal species or pioneer species? Pioneer species. So this statement is incorrect. Next, the statements regarding cycling of phosphorus. The atmospheric inputs of phosphorus through rainfall are much higher than carbon inputs. We discussed that it is having less input from the precipitation. ठीक है. First statement is incorrect. The gaseous exchange of phosphorus between organism and environment are negligible. This is correct. The crust of the earth is natural reservoir of phosphorus which makes it a sedimentary biogeochemical cycle. Correct or wrong? This is correct. ठीक है, तो दो statements correct हैं, first is incorrect. Answer will be B. Seventh, what is the percentage of photosynthetically active radiation in the incident solar radiation? फोटोसिंथेटिकली एक्टिव कितना होता है? इज इट नॉट 50%? टोटल जो आ रही है उसमें से 50% कैन बी यूज्ड फॉर फोटोसिंथेसिस, बट आउट ऑफ दिस 50% ऑल्सो जो फर्दर प्लांट्स आर एबल टू एब्जॉर्ब, दैट इज ओनली 2 to 10%. समझ गए? टोटल इंसिडेंट सोलर रेडिएशन का 50% स्पेक्ट्रम जो है दैट कैन बी यूज्ड फॉर फोटोसिंथेसिस, बट द प्रॉब्लम इज प्लांट्स आर एबल टू एब्जॉर्ब ओनली 2 to 10% of this photosynthetically active radiation. So that is why don't get confused between the option B and D. Eighth one, which one of the following is not a greenhouse gas? ये हम कल करेंगे क्वेश्चन, अभी इसके बारे में पढ़ लेंगे, ठीक है. Ninth one, biodiversity forms the basis for human existence in the following ways. Soil formation, prevention of soil erosion, होता है. देखो सब में रोल्स लिखते जाओ आगे. सॉइल फॉर्मेशन किसका रोल है? डेट्रिटिवोर्स एंड डीकम्पोजर्स. प्रिवेंशन ऑफ सॉइल इरोजन, द ट्रीज एंड फॉरेस्ट, ठीक है, वेजिटेशन कवर. रिसाइकलिंग ऑफ द वेस्ट, द रोल ऑफ स्कैवेंजर्स, द रोल ऑफ डीकम्पोजर्स, दोनों का ही है. पॉलिनेशन ऑफ क्रॉप्स, पॉलिनेटर्स लाइक बीज, बम्बल बीज, butterflies, moth, these are all pollinators. So all of these are roles of biodiversity. Answer will be D. 10th, which one of the following is not a site for in situ method of conservation of flora and fauna? Last two are the questions asked by UPSC itself. कौन सा नहीं है इनमें से? मतलब ex-situ मेथड कौन सा है? बोटेनिकल गार्डन, बायोस्फीयर रिजर्व, नेशनल पार्क, वाइल्ड लाइफ सेंचुरी, दीज आर ऑल इन situ मेजर्स ऑफ बायोडाइवर्सिटी कंजर्वेशन। तो दोनों हमारे 20 क्वेश्चंस कंप्लीट। सो यू आर लेफ्ट विद द प्रैक्टिस क्वेश्चंस फॉर मेंस। 2 आंसर आपको लिख के मुझे सबमिट करने हैं, ठीक है? कोई इनमें डाउट है तो आप पूछ सकते हो। ऐसे ही क्वेश्चंस आते हैं, कंप्लीटली उसी लाइन पे हैं सारे क्वेश्चंस। एंड वंस वी आर डन विद द सिलेबस, इसके बाद एक 50 मार्क्स का टेस्ट होगा आपका, ठीक है?